Hey biology people, this is Mr. Gales talking to you. Tonight I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to make your critical analysis for the video The Unknown World. So a couple things that you'll need to do is obviously one is get logged into Blackboard and go to an announcements page for the week that we saw Unknown World. And at the bottom of any of those announcements you'll see a course link. And that course link takes you to where the Unknown World critical analysis format is in Blackboard. So I'm going to click on that link and it's going to take me into Blackboard where I have the Unknown World critical analysis format. So from there I'm going to right click and save link as. Depending on your operating system it might be save target as or your browser. So I'm going to choose where I'm going to save it, and I've got a folder all set up. For you guys, you're going to be saving it into your home drive, and the way you do that is when this window comes open, it's going to look a little bit different because it's Windows 7, but you're going to choose where it says computer, and then somewhere over in here you're going to see a drive that has your username. You're going to want to save it in there. I'm just going to save it into this folder here and do that. Okay. So that's one thing. The other thing that you should have out when you're doing your critical analysis is the Foursquare. This is the Foursquare from the packet. I believe it's page 45 in your microscope packet. By the way, if you did not get a chance to finish watching The Unknown World, guess what? It's posted on Blackboard. So I'm going to show you where that is. Go to the announcements page. And I made a separate announcement for this, link to the video The Unknown World. And if I click on that, it's going to take me to a videos page for cell biology. It'll load. There are several videos in here, so you need to make sure that you're looking at the right one. Way down at the bottom is the link to where it says The Unknown World, and if you just click on that, it'll open up the video player, or it'll download the file depending on how you get set up. Okay, so let's go back to the announcements page here. And so we've got, just to make sure we have everything ready, we've got our Unknown World Foursquare that we've taken notes during the video, and we've downloaded the template. I need to open up the template file, so I'm going to get out of these programs for a minute. And I'm going to go over here to my computer and open up that template file. And it's in the removable. There we go. And critical analysis template, I believe, was the name of the file. Okay. So I'm going to open that up. Okay, so now I have my template file that I'm going to work off of, and I have the Unknown World Foursquare. So all I need to do now at this point is just start typing in my own information. I'm going to open it for editing. That's the first thing. Going to make sure that it's in the program for editing it. If you're working at school, you have Word 2010. Oop, I got a problem here. I'm going to have to reload that file. If you're working at school, you have Word 2010 to work with. If you're working at home, you may have some other version of Word. Just make sure you're working in a word processing program. So at this point, you're going to start by putting in your own name, because I'm pretty sure your name is not Chris Gales. And the period number, if you're not in period 7, obviously you need to change that. The title of this one is The Unknown. Ooh, I got a spelling typo. Okay, Unknown World. And then from here, you're just going to start adding text in. So here it says the paragraph should be typed in complete sentences in Times New Roman 12-point font. It's where you explain the purpose of the video. Explain why we're watching or why we watched the video in class and what the purpose behind the video was. And to do that, you just need to move your cursor over here to this text, and then you can start typing in. So you could say something like, the purpose of the video was blah, 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 blah. Okay, Roman numeral number 3 is your interesting facts from the article or video. In this case, it's obviously a video. This is from the upper left-hand corner of your Foursquare. This says page 33 on the template. It's page 45 in this year's packet. This was from an old packet, so page 45. And where you're going to type in your first interesting fact is right here. So you're just going to highlight that text, and you type in your interesting fact in the first sentence. And then the second sentence is where you explain why you chose that. What did you find interesting about it? And you do that for 5 interesting facts. You can leave the heading here just like this, but just type in your interesting facts. The next thing is you have questions from watching the video, or the, in this case, the Unknown World video. So type your questions in here. You don't need to answer the questions, it's just questions that you want to talk a little bit more about in class. Roman numeral number 5, this section is also typed in complete sentences. You're going to answer here the question from the lower left-hand corner of the Foursquare. That question, if we go back over to the Foursquare, that question is, why are microscopes an important tool for scientists like biologists? And you need to explain your answer with something specific from the video, some specific example. All right, so I'm going to do that for number 5. For number 6, this is kind of like a conclusion sentence or paragraph. Complete sentences, you're going to explain the main lesson. So think about, this wasn't in the Foursquare necessarily, but what was the one big main idea that you learned from this video? And then you want to also include your answer from the upper right-hand corner of your Foursquare about what the most interesting thing you've ever viewed with a microscope was. Explain why it was interesting, and then also explain how the video made you feel as you watched it. All right, the last thing you need to do is your note card. Now, obviously, you don't need to keep the text here because this is just your prompt, but when you do your note card, which I've given you a note card in class, you're going to do drawings only. These drawings should be done in pencil first to make sure that you've got them done nicely, and then do them in colored pencil. They're kind of what you see in your mind's eye when you think of the unknown world. When you're done with the whole assignment, you print out your complete document, and then you're going to attach that note card right onto the first page. We'll staple it here in the upper left-hand corner, so it's basically going to take up, this kind of space at the top of that page. All right. Now, when you're done, I'd ask you to get it printed out and make sure that you bring it to class ready to go so that we can work with it in class. All right, so that's how to do your critical analysis. Everything was covered here. Hopefully, if you have any additional questions, you can either email me or reach me in class, and we'll try to get everything cleared up as much as possible. All right. That's all for now. Thank you.